What's up, my friend? Welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a look at a new library from Straight Ahead Samples called the Big Growlin Sax. So you can probably guess what this library is all about and how it sounds. A very descriptive name, and also probably the most niche of the products that Straight Ahead Samples has on offer. And it's really cool. It's quite affordable as well. Right now, the intro price is nearly half off. And it's just really cool to see Straight Ahead Samples stepping into a more popular territory, something that people have been requesting for a long time, and that is sort of the growling performances in the saxophone. Whereas the rest of the saxophones in their catalog are the more workhorse, buttery sort of sound, really fluid sax sounds, but this one is kind of going to the extreme. So this is the details on the sales page with some demo videos and all of that. Quite a small library, just a couple of gigabytes. Just keep in mind that this is for the full version of Kontakt, so it does not run in the free version of the Kontakt player. Just something to keep in mind. And you get all the regular workhorse articulations. So legato, sustain, staccato, staccatissimo, tongue, forte, piano, falls, doits, scoops, all that great stuff. And then yeah, just some little more manual stuff to look over. But with that being said, let me kind of get into the library here really quickly. And you can see that this is quite a simple library, actually. So you would open it up in here in Files or in your Finder tab or wherever you want. And then the library is basically consists of two different patches. We have the Big Growlin Sax, and then the second patch has the 4-beat smart delay. Now, the new thing that this library introduces along with their guitar library is the smart delay plugin. So it basically compensates on the delay for you. So when you purchase this library, it will come included with this plugin. You just open it, install it into your computer, and then you want to load it into your effects plugins as a plugin. And when you turn on Smart Delay in the library, the engine will then activate Smart Delay. And the main, I think, difference between this and the previous libraries is just that the previous libraries without the plugin used to require the full 4-beat buffer, if you will, to kind of take a look through your performance and then get the best performances out of it. But this one offsets some of that delay for you, which is pretty cool. So with that being said, let me just play through the real-time samples here a little bit first. We'll play legato, go through different articulations, and then we'll turn on smart delay and see what it can offer. So here by default we have, we're going to start with legato here. Now, one thing to note as well is that the mod wheel actually controls the growl. So at the very bottom of the mod wheel, it's off. So you get the regular sustain samples without the growl, but when you push the mod wheel up halfway to the very top, you get the growl. Right, and this is not a simulated growl. So Trey has said that the performer did all the samples in growl, like with that growl intensity, and then the exact same set of samples without the growl as well. So you can imagine how much session time that must have taken. But anyway, let's go through the articulations here. All right, those are all the standard articulations there. So the riffs thing is really, really cool. Trey has basically said that it's sort of like an add-on to the library, sort of like an extra thing, and they're not really meant to be comprehensive, but just to give you a touch of extra flair, you know, it kind of it enhances the library just a little bit more. And you can actually activate different riffs by playing different velocities. So if you play lightly, you're getting a certain riff. If you play a heavier, you're getting, I think it's a more like a higher riff, like it ends on a higher note. When you play a bit lighter, it goes to a lower note. So anyway, pretty cool. All right, let's hear the mic positions a little bit here, and then we'll turn on smart delay. So by default, we had the close loaded. Let's load in tape, and I'm gonna turn off close here for a second. Let's have a listen to what tape sounds like. All right, then we have the room mic. And then we have the bleed mic as well. So it doesn't seem like it's doing very much. Let me see. Maybe I'd have to combine it with, let's say, close. Yeah, so when I activate one of the other ones, it seems like that's when the bleed kind of comes in and adds a bit more depth to the overall sound, which is pretty cool. And of course, when it comes with mic positions, you're kind of meant to play around and find your own custom mic mix. But by default, it's really cool. I really like that how straight ahead samples kind of goes with a close mic'd sound by default, which a lot of developers don't really focus on, especially orchestral libraries, right? They do a lot of room sound and like ORFT and like surround mics because that really captures the hall sound itself. But for jazz, a lot of the time the rooms are a lot smaller. They're in studios, right? And smaller spaces. So it makes sense to have a closer, more focused sound. But in sample land, it's also very easy for it to expose any flaws and programming, you know, iffies that the library might have. So I think straight ahead samples, that's one of their strongest suits actually, is creating really playable libraries that sound great even with a close mic position. So with all that being said, let's start playing with the smart delay. What I'll do is record a line in real time, and then I will play it in smart delay and we'll see how it sounds. So let's just play something pretty random here. Very, very random. Okay, so that was all using legato there. And let's turn on smart delay and I will just play, or I'll basically come up to the downbeat of bar 2. But when I press play, you'll notice that the plugin actually starts the playhead a bit before. So watch this. I'm going to press play. Starts basically 2 beats before. Cool. I especially like how that last line, it kind of starts without the growl, and then it gradually comes in with the growl for those last couple notes there. I'm just going to double check. I think I played all the right notes. Yeah, so these B flats right here are coming in, or they kind of sound like B naturals. So I wonder, maybe it's a velocity thing, or maybe it's just the way the engine interpreted it. Let's see here. Yeah, so these B flats are a tad sharp, so I might have to go in myself and actually retune those a little bit, but that's something that's part of the process. That sounds a little better. And that's really cool. Like here, you can hear how the A to the F, there was a little bit of that glide down to that note. Da, da, da. Or it's actually the F down to the D. Da, da, da. That's kind of stylistic. Cool. And then start with a growl. Growl into it. Right. And then one thing I saw people commenting on VI Control about was the vibrato. So the vibrato, I believe, is baked into the performances. I don't think it's something you can turn off. But I personally like that. You know, I think that's part of the characteristic sound of this thing, of this library, because if the library was not, like, if the samples did not contain any vibrato, I think it would sound a little bit weird, a little bit brash. But the vibrato definitely gives it that passion, that emotion that we get from those performances, which I like. I like it. It's more specialized in that way, more fun as well. Okay, let's try something else. Let's play something random here, maybe a more lyrical line. Let me do real time first, because that's the thing, like that you should do when it comes to delay. Turn it off first and then introduce a delay afterwards if that's what you're looking for. All right, we'll turn the switch on, and now let's have a listen. Cool. For me, the biggest difference in the smart delay when it was turned on was that the progressive vibrato kind of kicked in. So with the real time, the vibrato kind of kicks in right away when you play the subsequent note. But for these higher notes there, then the vibrato kind of comes in afterwards, which is kind of nice. It feels more lyrical and more natural that way. I also like how connected these notes felt in the first half of this passage, especially with the growl turned off. It felt more natural that way. But yeah, in terms of overall dynamics, it is around like a forte fortissimo sort of approach. So that's, in my opinion, what allows this library to be relatively small is the recording of basically just one or two dynamic layers at the very most, focused on the higher dynamics, right? The higher intensities. And I think they do that really effectively. If you want the more softer side of things and, you know, without any of the growl, they straight ahead samples has plenty of saxophone libraries covering that territory. But this one is very niche, covering the high intensity, passionate side of things, fiery saxes. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And I forgot to say that I love the GUI here. I think it's my favorite of all the straight ahead sample libraries. Just giving me that Careless Whisper vibe from this GUI. I love the sharp redness here, kind of like Iron Man or something. But anyway, quick look at the library. Thanks so much, Trey, for sharing a copy for this video. Really appreciate it, and hopefully you like this library as well. If you're looking for this sort of sax sound, you need that growl, then this is definitely one to look into, and it's pretty affordable as well. So I think it's a no-brainer if you need this specific sound. But otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. You can grab my sample library buyer's guide as always down below if you'd like. And that covers all of my personal preferences when it comes to sample libraries that I use on a regular basis. And I hope you find that useful as well. So thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next video. I'll see you very soon. Take care.